to a happy new year to you. Welcome to another episode of Cashing In on Creativity. I'm your host, Bruce Outridge. This is episode number 111. And today, folks, you probably heard, if you were listening to us last year and you caught the last episode, we had some great interviews with people like Rich Redmond and Thomas Wade and some really inspirational people. But you know what? There is no reason you can't get started at any age. And that is the point of today's show. Today's show, we are going to talk and look at some of the youngest people that have started their creative business. And it really doesn't matter what age. We've had some on here as young as 14 years old. And I tell you, they are as amazingly talented, amazingly driven, and they just want to be like the rest of us and have a goal. They kind of want to skip that whole let's work at McDonald's thing and get right into being an illustrator or a musician or whatever they are. So we've got some great people that have been on the show, and I just wanted to recap some of the youngest members that are up and coming. We've got people like Marina Tusker. Now, Marina is a 14-year-old illustrator. Well, she's 14 at the time that we were talking with her. And she has been just an amazing artist. I did some private lessons with her over the years and been watching her career from afar. She's a talented musician, artist, plays piano, bass, and is really passionate about the arts. And in fact, she's kind of outgrown what she's been doing as far as art through school and that kind of thing. So she is looking for projects, and I tell you what, she is going to be a talent to be reckoned with. Whether she stays in the arts as far as illustration or moves over to a musician or what have you, she is super talented and seems to excel in every area that she has and has a real passion for art. So we talked to her a little bit about how she got started and why she wants to be an illustrator, and we're going to touch on pieces of that interview in this episode as well. Hey, and we also have Alyssa McKenzie. Now, Alyssa McKenzie is a young musician that I met through my television show called Inspiring Youth. And that television show, Alyssa really impressed me. She was already singing and songwriting and writing her own material at the age of 16 years old, and she was just doing an amazing job. And she was on the show, and I was really impressed with what she's doing. And in fact, every once in a while, I'll check out the television channel here in Burlington, and I'll see her on because she's on a lot of the music specials that they have for the channel. So congratulations to you, Alyssa. Keep up the good work. We also talked with a young photographer called Nico Shuralambis. Now, Nico is a friend of mine, and if I've got his name right, that was amazing right there, because I have trouble with his name and his father, who I deal with in the trucking industry as well. I've had problems with both of their names. Of course, it's the same last name, but hopefully I got this one right because I think I'm getting better over the millions of years I've been practicing it. But Nico is a talented photographer, got into photography through cars. He really liked photographing cars, and now he's doing events and weddings and all of those kind of things, and he's really proving to be a straight A guy. So there's some talented people on this show. And another one that I wanted to talk about is Maeve Sharkey. Now, Maeve is better known as, what is her handle? I can't remember her handle right now. Anyway, Maeve Sharkey, she does record purses. So she started a business, and I met Maeve through our Halton Summer Company, which is an entrepreneur program for young people to help them start a business and get a feel for what's involved with it. And Maeve was one of the participants in the program last year when I was helping her out, and hit it off with her. She's really bubbly, and she started her own business where she's taking old record albums and making them into purses and cell phone holders and whatever else she can think of to make out of a record, which I think is just totally amazing. Got some really good traction having her records in stores and things like that. And so now she is back at school, but still moving the business forward. So there's been some amazing people on here. And if you are wondering, am I old enough to get started? Some people think, well, I'm going to go get a real job for a long time and then get started. You know what? You can get started at both. I'm not saying don't get a real job. You do need to make money, and it is sometimes good to go and get a job and figure out what you should be doing. because you'll learn a lot just through doing those. I know I did for mine. I went trucking for 25 years, and that's why I'm still in the transportation industry. But I use a lot of that industry specialty and industry training in my work today as an artist. So I could not have done that if I had not gone and driven a truck for 25 years. And so it doesn't matter where you are going to work, what you're doing now, whether it's part-time, full-time, think of it as gaining experience that will help you in the future be successful at whatever you do. So we're going to take a look at these young entrepreneurs. You should take a look at these young entrepreneurs. We're going to take some snippets out of their interviews. I would suggest I will put all of this stuff in the show notes below. If you want to go and link to their actual interviews, listen to the whole thing, highly suggest that you do that. Hey, make sure you subscribe to us on the YouTube channel here or on iTunes if you're listening to us on the podcast channel or whatever your favorite podcast channel is, because you do not want to miss some of the great interviews. If you are wondering, and a lot of creative people do this, they wonder, how do I get started? When should I get started? Am I good enough to get started? And I'm proving to you these 14 and 16 and 18-year-olds are starting. So what's your excuse?